you so much for coming in today. I'm Michelle.
Hi, I'm Amber.
It's nice to meet you.
Hi.
So, can you tell me a little bit about why you're here?
I guess I came in to talk to you because I've been struggling with social anxiety. I don't do well talking, like in groups or, with others, so I guess.
Can you tell me a little bit more about what that struggle is to you?
Well, I get really anxious, I get really nervous, and I always feel like I'm going to say something dumb. Whatever I say is not a good thing to say, like not a good input, if that makes sense.
And you feel like this only happens when you're in groups?
I guess also like when I'm just talking with somebody in general, like I'm always worried like the next thing I say is gonna be like a stupid thing to say in my head, not just in groups.
All right. Well, can you tell me a little bit more about maybe how often you have these kinds of anxious thoughts?
Well, I feel my anxiety almost all day.
Okay.
I've always been like a nervous person. I thought I just got that from my mom, but ever since college, I guess it's just been getting like worse. Like I've been getting more anxious.
So it sounds like maybe there's a piece of you that's always been a little bit anxious, but now it's been a lot more intense.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. And you mentioned that you feel like you got some of it from your mom. Do you know if she has anxiety?
My mom does have a big history of anxiety and depression and all of that stuff. But she never took like a medicine or anything for that. She always, just like ignored it. Or doesn't like want to admit it, I guess.
Well, I think that it's very big of you to come in and acknowledge that you're feeling anxious, so you should be proud about that.
Thanks.
Are you currently taking any medication for your anxiety?
No, not yet. My father told me about like medicine, like, because he said when he was in college he took medicine for anxiety. But I'm just not sure if I want to take medicine yet. So.
Yeah, that can be a really big decision, and medicine definitely isn't for everyone, but it could be something that you look at with a psychiatrist maybe later down the road. So you mentioned that your dad has anxiety too. Does anyone else in your family?
But nobody like talks about it. It's not like oh, like I went to the doctor today and I found out I had anxiety. It's just like kind of assumed, I guess, that like I know I have anxiety. I know my parents do, and I'm pretty sure like my sisters do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like my house is like an anxious bubble. But like nobody, I wouldn't ask. I don't know if it's like comfortable enough to ask like, hey, Audrey, do you have anxiety?
Right. Having conversations about mental health can be tricky and confusing, and that's definitely something difficult to do. So having it all is great. You mentioned that it's kind of like a bubble. Do you feel like you're more anxious when you're at home or at college, or does it come out in certain environments for you?
Well, I'm anxious a lot in college, but like thinking back, I guess it's when I'm thinking about my family.
Okay.
Like, when I'm always like worried about like my parents' health. My mom always like makes me feel bad when I don't like come home and visit enough or whatever, and so even when I'm not at home, I'm like worried about something at home.
Right. And it sounds like maybe your anxieties are clashing a bit and she's causing you to feel some guilt about being away at college.
Definitely, yeah, definitely making me feel guilty.
Are you the first person in your family to go to college?
Yeah, well, me and my sister Audrey, we went to college the same year, so we're both the first. So it's exciting, but also like nervous, scary.
Right. So that's, would you say, adding to your anxiety? I know you mentioned that it's gotten worse.
Yeah, it's scary because like other people have like their parents to like know the next step. Like even like the transition from like high school to college is like a struggle or whatever. But at least I was like still at home and had that familiar like area to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like I'm transitioning from like college to like life, and there is no sense of familiarity anywhere.
It sounds like maybe you're feeling a little bit lost with all of the changes and kind of alone. Do you feel like you have a good support system here at college?
Kind of. I mean, I live with my two roommates, and so we're all good friends. We talk. One of them is my best friend, and so we're like super close. And then I've also been dating my boyfriend for 2 years now, and we spend every other night together.
It's so nice that you have all those people.
Yeah.
Have you talked to them at all about your anxiety?
My boyfriend, yes, but not my friends.
All right. And when you discuss that with him, how does that make you feel? Any better? Or?
Yeah, I mean, he's not like super outgoing either.
Okay.
So he doesn't like make me feel bad for like not putting myself out there. I feel like he makes me feel like my feelings are like they make sense, but almost like doesn't contribute, but like verifies it by like because he also like stays in and doesn't want to go out. Like we'll both be antisocial together, you know, and so I don't know if it's like helping.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that he's there to validate your feelings because what you're going through is absolutely real and important. But I do think that being able to acknowledge that maybe it's limiting you in some ways is good. And do you feel like you'd like to go out more and engage more socially?
Yeah. I like when I see my friends, like my roommates getting ready on like Thursday nights and Friday nights, and they're like, you know, doing their hair and getting their makeup done and stuff like that. That it looks fun, and like I want to join them, but like part of me like knows that like I won't have fun once I'm like in an like a apartment that I don't know or a bar. Or, like that's not really my scene, but I want to be like a part of the crowd. But it's just I know I won't have fun if I do it. So,
is there anything that you think would assist you in having fun and being able to enjoy that experience?
Well, usually when my sister Audrey comes out with us, I feel more comfortable, and I'm like more outgoing, and just because I know like I can't say anything dumb with her around because she'll just back it up. She'll be like, "What do you mean? That wasn't dumb. It makes sense." You know, like she will never, like I'll never feel alone out when I'm out with her.
So you do have those worries that you mentioned about saying something stupid, but it sounds like you also have some concerns about being alone.
Yeah, I like the one thing I guess I really hate about going out is like when like people like, oh, these two people are talking and these two people are talking, and then I'm just like in the middle, like I don't know who to talk to. I don't feel like I have any contribution to either conversation, and so.
Well, I have to say, talking to me, you seem like a very well-spoken and intelligent young woman. So,
Thanks.
You know, I think that you have quite a bit to offer to the world, and we can definitely set some goals that will help you feel more comfortable sharing that part of yourself kind of getting to the end of our time. Is there anything else that you want to share or talk about before we end?
No, this is great. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I will see you next Thursday at the same time, if that's all right with you, and we can get started on making a plan to tackle this.
Okay. Great.
Awesome. Thanks so much for meeting with me.
Was it still recording even though it shut off? Oh, okay.
Yeah.